G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, this is the one that I want to test out because honestly, I have no idea. Is it going to be fire, a fail, or is it going to be fantastic? 3 Fs right there, and I'm not sure which one it's going to be because with another F in there, it's the Furibee. So this is the Furibee Stormer, and it's designed to be, I guess, a budget racer that hopefully gives people a good FPV experience on a budget. But that's the plan anyway, and Furibee things don't always go that way. So we've had some good ones in the past, like the X215, and we've had some bad ones as well that like burst into flames, like the Fire Dancer. So if you want to see part 1 where we look at the text and the specs, the bench breakdown, go and watch this little link. A short card should pop up there to part 1. But this is the fun one, this is the good one, this is where we take it out to the field, rip it around, and have some fun and find out how this thing's gonna go. Fire, fail, Furibee, fantastic, who knows? It's gonna be one of them. Alright, so let's cut out to the field and rip it around in 3, 2, 1, boop!
Rightio, out here in the field, we're gonna rip it around with the Furibee Stormer, and I don't know what's going on. When I've tried to arm this in the past, sometimes it arms, sometimes it just makes a bit of a beep, 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 beep noise, just like that. So we're gonna find out what's gonna happen today, and if it's gonna actually work. Trevor's about to take off in the background. But yeah, we're gonna plug this in and hopefully we can get some laps in without any fire or anything like that. And let's show you guys some DVR, then hand it over to Grumpy Trev and Crash Test Cal and see what they think about the Stormer as well. All right, so let's do it and rip it around.
Okie dokie, here we go, on board, and this is at a new spot we're sort of testing out. There's a lot of trees here and it makes for some more technical flying, but one thing, the first thing I want to put out there is when I sort of took this out of the box, it took a little bit to get arming, you know, sort of had some problems with getting it to arm, but when it did arm, I gotta be honest, I wasn't expecting the greatest sort of results. I was a bit dubious about how it was going to go, and to my surprise and to my pleasure, it actually turned out to be quite a nice flight experience. So when we're ripping it around here, you can see, look, it's definitely no slouch. It turns really well. It was very stable in there. You can see there's no oscillations or anything like that. And that's kind of crazy considering the price. I mean, for like $170, this thing is really, really good value if it holds up in the long run, because we don't know how it's going to go in the long run. And, you know, but it is miles better than things like the Furibee, which had, you know, the Furibee Fire Dancer, which for me had horrible oscillations, and, you know, Trevor's was bursting into flames, all that sort of stuff. But this one just seemed to get up and go, and it was a really, really nice flight experience. I definitely think it's going to be better. Oh, clip that little gate. It's definitely going to be better suited to like maybe some 5S batteries in the future, and I guess we'll have to see how that's going to go as well. But on a 4S, I think for a beginner, if you just want a flight experience that feels nice in the air, is easy to control, and you can rip around a course and have a good time, this is definitely a great option. Now, probably my one concern is why is it arming sometimes and then other times it's just making this sort of beeping noise. And look, I've plugged it into Betaflight, I've done lots of tests on it, trying to diagnose that problem, and I just can't seem to find out what is causing that to happen. Here's a little crash here, and then I think thanks Cal for picking it up.
Props are okay.
Alrighty, so that took a little bit to actually get up and get flying. I'm not sure why it kept beeping, and then sometimes it decides to work or whatnot, so I'm not sure what's going on there with the quality control. What we should do, let's hand it over to Crash Test Cal, see what he thinks as well, and hopefully it's going to arm for him. Alright Cal, what do you think of the Furibee Stormer?
Oh, it looks like a fairly solid frame, kind of familiar frame. I think Awesome put something out that was very similar to this.
It does look very similar to the Awesome,
but different. Awesome
quad. Yeah, I'll put a little link somewhere up here to that, but yep.
Look, they've got their own motors, so that's interesting. I don't know how well they will go.
Yeah, it's 2308 2200 kV, so a little bit lower than sort of what we're used to.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it's going to go better on a higher voltage, so probably on 5S, maybe even 6S.
Yeah, it does say that in the packaging.
But do you trust Furibee 6S?
Not particularly.
There's not many manufacturers I trust with 6S. So yeah, well, let's give it a go and just see what it can do.
All right, let's do it. Alrighty, ready to rock and roll, brother? Right. Got your snot hands, just wipe on all your nose. Let's wipe it on the transmitter. Spread those germs.
Roger.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm not expecting great things from this quad.
Yeah, so we're on a 4S too, I should mention.
Yeah, look, I'm just going to fly it as though I don't know what quad I'm flying and just see how I feel.
Okay.
It doesn't feel so tight at the moment, but it doesn't feel like it's got any major problems. Nothing fatal to begin with. Look, maybe the rates or something are a little low.
Is there any oscillations, anything like that?
No, not to speak of, but it just feels like these rates are a little dull. It's got some good punch. There's nothing wrong with that. The camera's not too bad. It's nothing fantastic, but it's not bad. I'd say it's just an average quality camera. You know, I don't know how much they're asking for this.
It's about 170 bucks.
Well, if that's the case, you know, that's not a bad deal. I was just a bit dubious about those motors, especially the experience we had with the last set of Furibee motors.
Yep.
I wasn't sure.
So you're talking about the fire dancers that actually caught on fire?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So I was just a bit dubious about anything that was branded with Furibee in terms of motors, but it seems to be going okay. And if it can handle 5S, well, it's obviously going to be doing a lot better than this. Okay, I just had a bit of a glitch then.
Yeah, what happened?
I just tried to roll left and I rolled right. So
Really?
Just had a little bit of a glitch.
All right, any glitch that time?
Nope, not that time. Look, it seems like it's a pretty good beginner quad because it gives you a lot of room for expansion. What I mean by that is as soon as you feel like you've reached your limits, perhaps on 4S, well, then it gives you the option to go to 5S. And I tell you what, it's going to be, if this is how it performs on 4S, it's going to be very sprite on 5S. So, you know, it gives you a few options in terms of being able to grow into it, which is something I like. Look, the motors I thought were going to be a bit dinky, but they seem to be quite fine. They are a low KV, so they're going to do better on a 5S build, but even on 4S, this is very controllable, very tame. And if, you know, I really put the hammer down, I think it's not going to be a slouch either. I think it'll get around the track okay on 4S.
Is this one of the better Furybees that you've seen?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right, so what's Cal's famous 4 words? Oh, and he's crashed.
Oh, Cal.
He was doing so well.
Just a ghost branch, you know, ghosty, yeah, occasionally.
All right, so Cal, what's your famous 4 words? Sum this up.
Cal hit a tree.
A good beginner's machine.
A good beginner's machine. All right, no worries. Thank you. Trevor, did we catch you eating your Devon sandwich?
This is actually a ham.
Where's the Devon?
The kids weren't around this week, so I haven't bought any.
Oh, you're probably just stashing it. You don't want to share it.
You're right.
Rightio, Trev, what we've got the Furibee Stormer. So what are some of your first impressions?
Fire for some reason.
Yeah, why do you say that?
Oh,
We've been joking about that all review.
yeah, well, they're going to have to, it's going to have to be good to get back into our good books, I think.
Yep.
Look, it looks good, but so did the other one, but motors look a bit different. Maybe they are, because the other ones...
Yeah, they are different motors than what on the Fire Dancer.
Well, that's good, so because they won't come apart then. And, ooh, it's a bit gritty, that one. Yeah, look, we'll give it a go and see how it goes.
All right, let's do it. All right, Trevor, so you try and arm it, and we're going to see what's going to happen. So I'm going to go over here. Now, we're ready when you are, Trev. Oh, I can't believe it. It actually armed.
Well, I don't mind the camera. Actually, this is flying all right. I do sound surprised, don't I?
Yeah, you do. Why is that? What were you expecting?
Oh, I didn't think it was going to fly as good as this. It feels quite good. Surprising. I am surprised. It does feel good.
Any oscillations?
No, look, everything about this is pretty good so far.
At least it armed for you.
It armed, and it's probably just a little bit floaty, but it's all right. It's responsive.
So you think they've stepped up their game a little bit?
Yeah, they have. This is probably the best camera I've seen today in here. Or maybe it's because it's overcast now too.
Yeah, I definitely think it has changed from the first bits to now.
The one thing's annoying me is that name right in the middle of the bloody screen.
What's it say?
Stormer. It's right in the middle of the goggles. Not one of the best I've flown, but it's still okay. Like it's going where I want to point it. There's no vibrations or any oscillations. I am really surprised that this is flying as well as it is.
Well, that's good then. What would you give it in Grumpy Trev's rating out of 10 in terms of performance?
Performance, it's probably up there. It's up around about an 8, I'd say.
Yep. And what about value for money? Because value for money, it's about 170, 180.
Well, that's not too bad either. Look, probably about an 8 for value.
Okay.
I think there's better options out there, but this is flying quite well for someone that's just getting into it and they don't want to build their own. This would be ideal.
Would you recommend that, knowing Furybee's, I guess, track record? Would you recommend these ones for first-time pilots?
Well, the track record hasn't been too bad. I mean, the worst one we've had so far is that Fire Dancer. That did catch fire.
Yep.
We haven't had any bad ones since then, so that have been terrible anyway. Yeah, I reckon this is not too bad value. I'm quite impressed, actually. I'm quite enjoy flying this. It's not something I'd go out and buy because I've got something better than it already, but for a newbie, for sure, I reckon it's good value. But yeah, as long as this thing holds up, like it has got plenty of poke. I mean, this thing wants to go. And unfortunately, where we are, can't really give it stick today because of where we're flying. A lot of trees, as you could probably see from the video, but it's handling it like it's, I haven't hit a tree yet. Come and land straight away.
Yeah, this has to be your best flying of the day.
Yeah,
That's weird,
isn't it?
maybe you like the lower rates that it might have on it.
Maybe it is, like, it's just nice, but it's just a tad floaty. I'd like to just fix that problem, but other than that, it's fine.
And no issues with the camera?
No, it's I like the colours of the camera. I said it's the we've had a few issues with other cameras today where it's been a bit washy, but it might, like I said, it is overcast now, which is a bit of difference to what it's been earlier, so not bad at all.
All right, nice. Thanks, Trev. I can't believe you're actually still going and you didn't crash. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm going to just land this. Where am I going? Over here somewhere.
All right, nice. Thanks, mate. Let's see how you go for landing. And we got to look at Cal's backside. Sorry, audience. Alrighty, let's give this to Trev. Trev, final thoughts?
Don't mind it. I reckon it's definitely a goer for newbies only. It's nice, strong frame. Everything was good about it. So yeah, I think they're back in the game.
All right, nice. Thanks. All right, gents, we've come out to the test track, so it's a little bit more open, but what do you think the Furibee Stormer is going to get miles per hour on a 4S battery? What do you reckon it's going to hit? Trev?
I reckon 90.
90? Cal?
What did we say, 2100 kV?
Yeah, 2200 kV.
2200 kV, I reckon about 85 max.
I'm going to go 80 on a 4S pack. Ready to suit up?
Yep.
Are you looking a bit cold, mate? You got a jumper on?
Yeah, it's a little chilly.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right, let's do this Stormer. Let's see what it does. It's a low kV setup. I think if we had a 5S battery on it, I think we'd be seeing close to 100 mile an hour. Let's see what it can do. Let's give it a chance. Give it to us. 74. You could do worse than this, that's for sure. 80 mile an hour. It looks like it'd take a beating too. It's not a bad beginning quad. 83. Not bad for a budget quad. Hey guys. Woo! 72. And we gave the tree a haircut, a bit of a flat top. I don't know where it went.
Okay, is it going to be broken, Cal, or not broken?
Not broken. It's a pretty tough setup, although it did hit hard. I think it'll toughen up.
Well, we broke one prop, by the look of it.
What's this wee bit?
Okay, I broke one prop.
Arms are just a little bit loose, that's all.
Yep.
Nothing's broken. Camera's just moved.
Let's see if we can give it a hover.
That hit that tree pretty hard.
All right.
Loose prop.
Well,
It's still good.
still good. Look at it.
Still, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Well, that actually held up okay.
It did.
Alrighty, there it is. There's my part 2 review of the Furibee Stormer, and there's some pros and some cons. And the first thing I want to get out of the way is, look, I guess when I was coming into this review, Furibee, they had a lot to lose for me for this one. You can probably tell through my tone throughout the review, I've been really worried about their quality control. The last ones I haven't had any good experience, and they've been really hit and miss. So I was ready to sort of slam this quad and say, look, do not buy this one. But surprisingly, this thing, its flight characteristics were actually okay. So when we took it out and we actually did get it flying, because look, I don't know what's going on with that arm switch. However they've got set up, it seems to think that there was some throttle when there wasn't, and it just seemed to be really intermittent when it would arm and when it wouldn't. That part was very frustrating, and it actually took me a couple of weeks to review this, because when I first set it up and I didn't have the laptop tested it, yes, it worked. Took it out then ready to fly it, and we're just going to beep a lot when we arm it. So I don't know what's going on there. That part definitely does need to be fixed. But when it did decide to work, I was really pleasantly surprised with the flight experience you actually got. You know, it handled very nicely. It wasn't the fastest thing in the world, but it definitely, like Trev says, it wasn't a slouch either. And I definitely think if you're going to put some 5S batteries on here with these motors, it would go a lot harder, you know. And we crashed it into that tree at the end. We broke a prop, but it was still more than happy to sort of get up and get flying. Of course, we would change the props out. I wouldn't recommend doing that. That was just for a bit of testing for you guys. But yeah, overall, look, I'm gonna sort of give this one, I guess to sum it up as a number, like a 7 out of 10. It wasn't the best drone I've ever seen, but it also wasn't as bad as I was actually expecting. Anyway, what do you guys think? You know, and one part I should mention too was the camera. Sometimes it looked really good, and sometimes I felt like it was really, really washed out. So it was really interesting to see both Trevor and Cal to mention that they liked the camera, but it was a little bit more overcast when that was happening. And I know for me, when it was sunny, it sort of, things felt like they were blending together a little bit more. Anyway, what do you guys think? Drop your comments down below. Subscribe for more FPV related content, I don't know why I said it like that. And as always, happy flying.
Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAVfutures family, there's things like bonus Velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying.